Plank's the show. Ho, ho! Where you can come and hear about everything Buccos. Yo ho ho, come talk the plank with bros. Yes, bros. I earn my Kelly and Zer as anger begins to grow.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Talk the Plank, Everything Buccos. As always, it is your boy Angry Yinzer coming at you here on a Monday evening, and joining me is Pittsburgh Iron Mike. How we doing tonight, Iron Mike?
Number 3 on the board. Things happen in threes, third time's a charm. I think we're gonna have a great day today.
Hey, we need some beautiful stuff here in episode 3, something to lift the vibes a little bit around this team, because I'm just going to go straight out and say it. The baseball in this city has not been lifting the vibes whatsoever.
Sad. 6 games. It's been rough. We kind of had a small roller coaster there because we had Tuesday against the Dodgers, and it felt like, holy shit, it's all going to come together and it's just going to happen. But unfortunately, this is not the script to the movie Major League, and we're just kind of slowly getting back into the pit that we came from.
Yeah, no, this team has caught the injury bug on top of having our continued bullpen struggles just bite us in the ass game in and game out. And on top of that, our ace pitcher is kind of looking pedestrian as of late, at least compared to himself.
Yeah, very average from Skeens. I mean, so as we know, 3 against the Dodgers. We lose 2 out of 3 with a big win on Tuesday. Come back, it was great, and then we lose 2 out of 3 again to Miami, which is not much to write home about because even our win happened due to a hit by pitch. So Skeens on the mound on Sunday looked okay, looked average. I mean, it just sucks because we lost the past 6 games Skeens has pitched. In that time, we've had him not be great, we've had the bullpen suck ass, and then we've had the bats suck ass. And the bullpen didn't help him yesterday, but neither did the bats. So it's hard to find a good point right now with our team. We had so much, and now with the injuries and O'Hearn and Lau struggling yesterday, we are in the trenches right now. And you're right, Yinzer. You mentioned earlier that we might have to start becoming a comedy podcast. We don't turn it around because we haven't even started the dog days yet.
Yeah, no, this is like the puppy days, and we are actively in hell. That's just not what you want to see early in this season, especially out of Skeens. I just pulled up a stat here because I heard him mention it the other day on the broadcast, and it just feels poignant. Skeens this season has allowed 8 home runs through his 15 starts. Last season allowed 11 home runs for the season. So it's not just like, it doesn't just feel off. The numbers are there. It's off. He's not throwing pitches over 100 miles an hour. Everything with Skeens just feels weird, and I don't know what to even think of it. And is it just, hey, maybe you can't be the most dominant player in the world forever? Or is something wrong with him here?
Well, part of it is, Yinzer, is we play Road to the Show on amateur or on beginner mode. So, I mean, when we're just throwing, a 0.0 ERA through 200 career starts, it's kind of, I feel like sometimes the expectations are high. But that's, like I said last pod, you're going to have struggles. You're going to be up and down, but Skeens isn't being Skeens. You can tell even when you have a start like yesterday where he went, 5 innings pitched. He gave up 4 hits on 2 runs. Well, 2 of those were back-to-back home runs, which, if you ask me, just kind of cancels out any sort of gem you could have in a start. But he struck out 10. The pitch count was high. I believe he threw 104 through 5. So I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know if it's the pitching coach, if it's something internal, if it's something with him. Baseball is a marathon, not a sprint. A lot can go wrong. Travel can affect things, home life. But there's something wrong with Skeens, and it would just be nice to be able to know. I mean, Yinzer, do you think it's possible that he's dealing with some discomfort in the right arm and maybe he just doesn't want to say anything? Do you think this is just the ups and downs of a baseball season? What's your opinion on the Skeens, not the irregular Skeens, we'll call it right now?
Yeah, I mean, there's just a weird tidbit here where Sherrington has now mentioned multiple times the World Baseball Classic. Did Skeens tweak something during the World Baseball Classic and no one wants to fully admit that? Or, I mean, we saw him in the World Baseball Classic. He was hitting that 100, velo. He hasn't thrown a pitch over 100 miles an hour this year. And the arm angle is different. So he's now throwing, I heard someone breaking it down. He's throwing more with like wrist motion and taking pressure off the elbow, but that's making him throw slower, which is you kind of mentioned last podcast, that fuck you fastball. That's just not in his repertoire right now. He's not pumping it in at 101 up at your hands and making you swing at it on two straight counts like he used to be able to do.
Yeah, so when you get into that, like, you don't have that fuck you fastball. What it's creating is, as we see, the pitch count is higher, which means guys are having longer at bats. And I know that, there is a difference between Shohei Ohtani and like Jack Sawinski. They're all Major League Baseball players, man. I mean, if you throw enough pitches against statistically one of the worst players in the league, they're going to get a hit. They're professional ball players. These are the best players in the world. So the more pitches you throw to one guy, the more you're going to get hit. I haven't looked too deep into the velocity thing. Danzig really talked about it, or John Wayner talked about it on the Fan this morning about how he's not throwing 100, but he is throwing 99, and there's not much of a difference there. You're not like it's not a crazy effectively different thing, but I think the World Baseball Classic argument's a little bit bullshit because you're playing in spring training anyways. These guys, even though you might not be pitching in a game, you're throwing most days. So I think it's a little bit of an excuse, but I don't know how to figure it out right now with Skeens. I would like to see one more start. And if it's really irregular, then I think we're going to see some sort of news of something being addressed of, hey, CAT scan, or, hey, we got a discomfort in the arm. It's hard to see, but it's not like he's shitting the bed out there either, Yinzer. He's still, I mean, yesterday was a good start. I mean, 10 strikeouts, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 runs. They just came off two guys that kind of beat him, and then the bats didn't come together and the bullpen didn't help him either. I would say, over 50% of the time you throw that stat line, your team gets the win. So it's something I'm not too worried about it now, but I could talk in circles all day about the Skeens issue. But
Yeah,
I'm still happy he's on our team. I don't want to get rid of him. Let's keep him, but good.
don't get me wrong. An unskeens like Skeens start would still be a gem from most pitchers in the MLB. It's still quality starts over 5 innings pitched, less than 3 runs, but he just I don't know. It's something feels different. It doesn't feel like we have that Haas out there that's just, oh shit, these batters don't want to see him. They're seeing him, and it seems like they're seeing him a lot better than they're used to seeing him. At least we're used to seeing people see him. And hey, it could be the ups and downs of baseball. We have a lot of season left. We'll move off of someone who's been kind of bringing us down with Skeens a little bit, and not that he's been playing bad, like we said, just we're losing games when he starts, and that's not something we want to see. Someone who last pod I actually called him a created character, just the average, hey, I'm a white baseball player. Tyler Callahan seems like he bought some upgrades. 2-homer game for his first 2 home runs, the Tuesday game you're talking about there. First one off of Ohtani into the river. Next one to give us a lead in the 8th inning. Beautiful stuff from Tyler Callahan. Just love to see it from a guy that you're really not expecting anything from when we bring him up.
There's a quote about baseball, and then I forget who said it, but it says, baseball is boring until it's not. That's what makes it beautiful. And whenever you can have, an impact kind of game on coming from the bat of one guy like that, it goes full circle how beautiful this game is, and how a guy can come up through our system and make his debut, and then have a game against the Dodgers at home. 90,000 people total attended the whole series. Comes in, 2 home runs, one off Otani, a comeback win. It was debatably one of the best regular season games at PNC Park's history, which we're in 25 years from. And you love to see a good team effort, which it was, but you also love to just see that storyline, right? B Ray with the walk off a couple weeks ago, that's awesome, but it's something more special when this is first 2 home runs in the same game. Come on, man, that was a day, and there's still something to be said. It's been a tough week, a tough weekend, but having a storyline like that just makes the game. It's the reason why I'm going to tune in at 9:40 tonight, and I'm going to stay up till 1 watching it. I'm going to be tired tomorrow because you never know what can happen in this game. Tyler Callahan, however much you spent on VC to upgrade, it's a great purchase. Great game. Great guy.
Hey, great stuff out of the utility man. Honestly, we saw him in right field a little over the last series here. We kind of had him given to us as a utility infielder. That's what he was pegged as by, I want to say Brownie and Bob Walk, maybe KY, but whoever was in the booth his first game up just said, hey, this is a guy that's going to play some infield for you, a little shortstop. And he's only up here because of the KG injury, which I think we can talk about that. It's weird still. It's been weird. Sherrington is very almost closed book on this. Oh, Connor's starting to throw a little bit. He's been hitting the whole time. Hitting's not bothering him. It's like, man, O'Neill's on the IL and seems like he's going to be there for a bit. If hitting is not bothering the kid, I don't see why he's not DH. And I know I brought it up last week. This week, it seems like we have some more clarity that he's going to continue taking at least practice at bats. So I don't see why we wouldn't want to get that bat into the lineup with the way we've been hitting lately. We're just not looking like the Pirates we have been.
It's like, what is the issue? Because you're clearly not worried. So the discussion of if he's going to DH, if he can DH. Well, if he DHs, then if he hurts his hand a little bit more, you got a lot of money in this guy. You got to be careful. But the thing is he's hitting and throwing right now in practice. So what is really happening here that these training wheels are on? And because if you're really that scared about him DHing only when he's already taken practice acts and throwing the ball, it would be one thing if said, okay, he's swinging, but he's still not throwing yet. We're not doing any of that. We're strictly in the cage off the tee. That's one thing. But you have this guy taking practice acts. You got him throwing the ball, but we're not even throwing him out there as a DH. Then just tell us that he's done for the season. Just say, hey, we're gonna keep an eye on him this year. We don't want him to overdo anything. He's got a long career ahead of us. He's 20 years old. He's gonna be on the IL this season. He's gonna develop, and we're hoping he can play in AAA for a week or two at the end of the season. But you're not. You're being cryptic about it again. And I don't understand why you can't. Is it because it's the first time we've spent money in forever and we're scared of something happening to KG? Like, because the issue too we have here, Yinzer, is because of KG's injury and Callahan being a young guy, Jared Triolo is in this lineup 100% of the more times than he should be, because he should be bagging groceries at Kroger. So you're really pigeonholing yourself right now because whenever guys aren't coming together and hitting the ball, and then on top of that, KG's out, and we have guys like Henry Davis in our lineup, and we have Jared Triolo, it's causing a big mess. So it would be nice that if you throw him on the IL, at least you can say, okay, we're going to be buyers coming up at the deadline. We're looking for a shortstop. But you're being weird about it. So it's kind of pissing me off because we need to know what's going on. And it's you come off as stupid from the front office if you're not being open about your team. This isn't fucking the Mike Tomlin shit show where we don't say anything, right? Like, give us what we need to hear and let's figure it out. But I don't understand any of this cryptic movement that's happening right now with Connor Griffin. We need him back in the lineup, and it needs to happen soon. Or at least we got to figure something out.
I mean, we're talking about it almost like it's a hockey injury. Like, baseball is one of the sports where I mean, you find out everything that happens. You hear, oh, this pitcher was pissed coming out of a bad start, punched a whiteboard in the locker room. He's going to be out for he's on the 40-day IL because he broke his hand. Like, we know the details of what happened on stuff. All we know is that Connor's arm was sore, and now he's on the IL until GMBC says that he's not, I guess. And it's weird stuff. It's one of those things where we just need the clarity of what we're going to do because, like you mentioned, and I mean, it's a talking point across all Pirates media, Jared Triolo is not a major league at bat. He's not even like a supreme. He's supposed to be like Mr. Glove Man. Oh, he's Key Brian Hayes out there. No, he's not. Like, he's not even like the best defender at times. So I don't want to see Jared Triolo. He doesn't bring me anything. Every time he's up, we had multiple situations over the last couple weeks where if Triolo's up, we have one out. There's a runner at third, and Triolo's a pop up or a weak little like double play ball on runners at the corner. He's just not a clutch hitter. He's not a major league hitter. He's bad at baseball. And we're employing a couple guys this season that are bad at baseball. Marcell Ozuna, hang up the cleats, man. Henry Davis, stay on paternity leave, be an incredible dad and an awesome AAA catcher. And don't fucking wear black and gold. I don't need to see it. Yes, I like that an old lady thought I looked like you, but fuck, man. Watching you play baseball is depressing as shit. Fuck, you just got to go for a second, Mike, because I'm getting angry at our boys right now.
Hey, I completely understand. I will say, adding on to the KG thing, is that if you ask me, if nothing were completely wrong with KG, then we would know, right? It's really concerning. I think something seriously is wrong because if nothing was wrong, why hide it? The Jared Triolo thing and Henry Davis thing, no amount of defense makes up for this shitty offense. And for some reason, we are so content with accepting the fact that we are going to be the worst of worst in certain areas. Look, I understand if you have a few guys in your lineup that don't crush the shit out of the ball, right? But Henry Davis is on pace to be the worst hitter in the history of baseball. Jared Triolo has no power. He can't do anything. He's not a hit. You're right. He's not a major league hitter. So if we want to just suck to suck, then that's us being the Pirates. We're not going to change anything. It's you simply just cannot continue what you're doing now. You have to call someone up. You have to send someone down. You have to make a trade. You're doing the definition of insanity here, and it needs to be something needs to change because you can't continue to have this in lineup and expect a different results. You're not addressing the catcher situation. You're not addressing the Jared Triolo situation. You're being cryptic about Connor Griffin, and you're doing jack nothing about your bullpen. So the Pirates are 500 right now. Great. Okay. You're not going to get any better than that because you're not doing anything to improve. You have very big gaps in your team. And it's going to cause you to go nowhere. And this season is going to be a waste if something is not addressed. Now you got me going, Yinzer. Let's, I don't even
No,
know.
let's just trade anger back
next?
and forth because I'm here. I'm still mad. So let's trade some anger back and forth. You're right. I've seen the criticism of the take they haven't done anything to address the bullpen with. Well, look at the guys who've been sent up, brought down, and I understand you're not getting quality relievers traded this early in the season. Look how many teams in the NL alone are sitting right at or around 500. Not even just the NL Central. Look at our division and you can see, hey, it's going to be tough to get relievers anytime soon. But shit, man, you can't just sit on your hands and be like, hey, the system guys that we brought up, they didn't really work, but now we're just going to kind of trade the same guys back up, back down. See, that doesn't work. It's not working. Like, there has to be, even if you're completely uncertain about guys that are pitching in AAA right now, or pitching, fuck, dude, Double A. This is how bad we are. Bring anybody up and let me see them throw pitches from the bullpen. We can guard one arm in the minor league organization. I'm willing to let Seth Hernandez develop where he needs to develop. Everybody else should be eligible to come up and try games. People should be, and I know there's rules for how often you can send a player up and down, but that's why we shouldn't be bringing the same guys up and down. I don't need to see the same guys come in and not be quality bullpen players. They're not. We don't have a quality bullpen. Nothing should be off limits for trying to improve the bullpen at this point. And all just to piggyback, the perfect little wording there, pun completely unintended, but to piggyback off the point, Carmen Majinski was supposed to go in here and be a bulk guy in the bullpen that's supposed to help the bullpen. No, Carmen Majinski is Jared Jones' personal fucking butt buddy who comes in purely just to once every 5 days help out Jared Jones because he's on a pitch limit.
That is by far the most stupid thing a organization can do is say, okay, we have Jared Jones coming back off of a long injury. Okay. He's going to have limited use as a starter. Okay. So, but we have 6 starters. So Majinski goes to the bullpen, but Majinski doesn't even sit in the bullpen when Jared Jones isn't pitching. He's on the bench. So Majinski was supposed to go to this bullpen to make our bullpen objectively better, and all he is a 6 starter only when Jared Jones pitches. So it tells me a couple of things. One, Don Kelly doesn't have control over his team. He is too scared to put Carmen Majinski in the bullpen for some reason. I don't know why. Two, if this is the doing of Ben Sherrington, we are officially the Cleveland Browns. Think about the amount of talent that has come to the Cleveland Browns in the past since we've been able to drink alcohol, Yinzer, and how they have come and gone, and Cleveland still can't do shit with the exception of, whatever. They won a playoff game against the Steelers, whatever. That's
We
who
don't
we
talk
are.
about
We are,
that.
yeah, we don't talk about that. We we can't find we find every way to fuck up. And and that's how it this is how it is, right? Majinski being this piggyback guy off of Jones, it's it's stupid. It's horrible. You're not doing anything about your bullpen whenever you had like a designated, hey, I'm going to help the bullpen guy when Jared Jones comes back. Even though Majinski doesn't like it, that's what he should be doing. There's no reason why Majinski shouldn't be pitching 6, say 4 or 5 innings a week, right? So either I think Ben Sherrington is horrible, and I think Don Kelly is also horrible as well for the fact that we're letting this continue because we know nothing doesn't do anything baseball related. It's Sherrington being in love with the people Sherrington found or wanted to, or likes. And other than that, and I think Don Kelly is a puppet. I think Ben Sherrington's hand is in the ass of Don Kelly, and he's talking for him because that's why Shelton made his stupid moves, and I think it's why Don Kelly's making moves because Sherrington's an idiot, and I'm not even making sense right now, but it's horrible. Majinski should be in the bullpen at least because that is the one guarantee. Okay, we can get rid of one shitty reliever in our bullpen and we can add a guy who's half decent. But you're not. You're continuing to just be shitty and then just do 5-4 or 4-5 with Jones and Majinski. It's stupid. So we're not winning anything this year. It's not going to happen. The Pirates are going to be under 500 again. We're going to have no baseball next year. Skeens is going to be gone the year after that when he comes to arbitration. You're going to have guys, Hearn's going to be gone. Lau's going to be gone. Horwitz will be gone. Marcelo Zuna already sucks. You're looking at a complete rebuild in 2028 to 2029 when you're 7 years in to Ben Sherrington and you're sitting at 500 on June 15th. That is fucking horrible. I'm sorry, Yinzer. I'm just I'm upset. I feel like Miles Teller in Whiplash. He goes, I'm upset. That's me. So I'll let you take it away.
No, I mean it's all just it's to the point. That's the point we're making here is that we say we're doing things to improve, and then we take no actionable like moves towards improving. We put Carmen in the bullpen, except for he's not in the bullpen. You don't have to game plan for, hey, Carmen Majinski might come in and pitch leverage innings unless you're already game planning for Jared Jones. Great. You have a righty to piggyback your righty so that they can just still stack their lefty batters, and they know exactly what two pitchers they're going to face. Oh shit, maybe you'll throw Evan Siskin for one inning in the middle to really fuck with them. Great, a guy that's not that good at baseball and who loves to come in with runners on base and let those guys score. You can go ahead and ask, or I mean, hey, Mason Montgomery, he might come in, another lefty who loves to come in with guys on base and let them score. Ask Bubba Chandler, who has actually pitched some pretty fucking decent baseball, lost command late in his starts back to back, and then immediately watched one of his lefty relievers come in to fuck him over. It's just, it's laughable. A reliever is getting brought into the game because you're like, hey, this guy's going to get these outs that we need to get out of this situation. They'd never get the outs. You've got fucking 10 David Bednars in your bullpen who come in and immediately allow a cock shot to cut a 2-run lead to 1 or to give up a lead, because why the fuck not this year? It's all we do is give up leads late in games.
There's no. I'm just going to read through the baseball reference really quick here on the relief pitchers. Okay. Gregory Soto, I think he's catered to. Okay. 3.26 ERA. He is probably the one guy it's hard to just out him in the bullpen. Johan Ramirez, 4.31 ERA. Evan Sisk, 1.8 ERA, but I don't know how that. He 30 innings, I guess. So Evan
Because
Sisk good?
Evan Sisk comes in and gives up other people's runs. Evan Sisk doesn't give up his own runs. He just allows a double to clear the bases he came in with loaded.
That
I
would make
fucking hate
sense.
Evan Sisk. I mean, I hate him. Every time he comes in, I go, oh, well, these guys are scoring. He won't allow any of his own. His ERA is going to be pretty, but he will fucking let Bubba's or he'll let Paul's or he'll let Jared's. Oh, I fucking can't stand Evan Sisk. I can't stand Yo-Yo the other day he fucking got 3 strikeouts in a row. I don't know if you were watching that where he struck the guy out, but he didn't. And then he struck the guy out, but he didn't. And then he
And then
struck
he
the
got
guy
him
out for
again.
real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Brownie was
saw
losing
that.
his fucking mind.
Well, that's because the Pirates genuinely haven't gotten a check swing go in their favor. I think all season, it's been horrible. But
I'm ready
Dennis,
for Eagle Eye. That's something that I am truly ready to see. I need a check swing defined for me by a robot, because every single fucking first base or third base album seems to have a different interpretation.
so as an umpire, Yinzer, you know what my interpretation is you swung every single time, no matter what, because you can't see shit. You can't tell from first or third if he went around the whole way. He's whipping the bat as fast as sound. Like you don't see that. He swings every time because I'm trying to get out of there. I'm trying to go home. That's my definition of the check swing. If you thought about it, you swung. Yeah, that needs figured out, because honestly, I've seen like playoff games decided on a check swing, and it's just let's just figure it out. I'd rather have all robots than to deal with this shit. But Dennis Santana, ERA 4.82, horrible. Mason Montgomery 4.33, Isaac Matson 3.86, Wilbur Dotel just got put on the IL for who knows when someone tried to call someone up, 5.89. Brandon Bedouin, 5.14. Other guys that have pitched at least a couple of innings are high. Notable mentions would be Hunter Barco had a 7.71, and that was through 11 innings pitched. So that's horrible. And then you have three guys in your starting rotation over a 4 point ERA, including with Mitch Keller at a 5.14, Chandler at a 4.76, and Majinski at a 4.02. You're giving up. You've scored so many runs this year. We're hitting the ball. We're scoring runs, and these bullpen numbers are horrible. There's not one guy in here except maybe Gregory Soto, maybe Isaac Matson that hasn't absolutely shit the bed. There has to be some sort of answer to this. I, I mean, I can bring in the farm system here next episode and just look at guys, but why even waste our breath? It's the Dodgers series and the Miami series. It came down to the bullpen couldn't do anything for you. And now you've lost 4 of your last 6. You're going into Sacramento without an off day, and you're going in a hitter friendly ballpark, which is great for us, but also not good for our bullpen. And then you're going to match that with going to Colorado for after that. It is we could slide hard in these next 6 games. So it I don't I nothing's going to change. So unless some drastic thing happens or they come out of the deadline and they revamp this bullpen, but I honestly think that it'd be too late by the deadline to come back if it continues. So I'm a long-winded guy. I'll let you take over, Yinzer. Whatever you want to talk about, the floor is yours.
Well, and you mentioned it briefly there, and while you're taking the pessimistic approach, I'm gonna go ahead and try and bring some optimism to the fact that, like you mentioned, we are going to Sacramento to play the A's, and they are in a minor league bandbox right now. So I wish we were in Vegas, the home run Palooza Park, but I'll take Sacramento, which is also a just baby little park for guys like Brandon Lau, Ryan O'Hearn. Hey, let's see these bats get hot. Brian Reynolds, Spencer Horwitz. I want to see him flip the bat. Spencer Horwitz might flip a bat out of this park. Like, I know there was the memes of him doing it out of PNC. This park is small enough. If Spencer Horwitz gets a hold of one, he might throw a bat literally out of the fucking right field wall. So just look at that. I know it's been ugly, but it's them, it's the A's, it's the Rockies. The A's just got 23 runs dumped on their head the other day. Was that by the Rockies?
Yes, that was by the Rockies. I thought it was a joke whenever I think City Limits was tweeting it. I saw that. I was like, wait, that doesn't sound, was that years ago? Was that yesterday? Was that but yeah, they're coming off a rough one. Yeah, it was yesterday. 23-9 was your final score in Sutter Health Park. Um, yeah, 23 runs Colorado put up against the Athletics.
Yeah, so I'm not saying that we're anywhere near the Dodgers. We're not Dodgers level. We're not Braves level. And fuck, we might be exactly Marlins level. But in this whole little level, we are better than the Athletics and the Rockies. Like, I just refuse to believe that we're not. And if we're not, then the season might be over. This may become a comedy podcast fully. You guys might be getting ready for a whole lot of drafts, a whole lot of tier lists. So you're going to hope that we're better than the fucking Rockies and the Athletics, or else you're going to put me on suicide watch. If we don't win, if we don't win 4 of these 6 games, and ideally 5 or 6 of these 6 games, suicide watch.
All right, we're gonna play a game. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna tell you what the hypothetical situation that happens over the next 6 games, and you're gonna tell me the narrative, okay, of what happened. Does it sound like
All
so?
right, I like
So
this. Yeah, we'll
all right.
take the radio. This is what Joe Starkey will be saying in the middle. The fucking what the Starkey or Pomp and Joe
Pump and
show.
Joe, Pump and Joe
Yeah, the
show.
Pomp and
Yeah,
Joe show.
I'll put on my Starkey. I don't want to be called baldy hat here. So I tell you, on Friday on Friday that the Pirates lost. They got one game against the Athletics and got swept by the Rockies. What happened? Why did that happen? What was the narrative?
The bullpen imploded in pretty much every game this week. We watched a Jared Jones and Carmen Majinsky piggyback work, and then guess what? Neither of those pitchers are available for 5 more days. So although we had leads going in late to these games, our bullpen came in these hitter-friendly parks just imploded like they have been. If we don't get bullpen help, this season is over.
See, your answer there 365 days ago would have been we couldn't hit the ball. We didn't have one single multi-hit inning. So we've addressed the issue that we had. We fixed it. And now, last year we would have killed to just have our bullpen blow up and be a 500 team.
Yeah,
But now, yeah,
we cut off our dick to save our balls. Is what
exactly.
happened. We've started hitting. It's great. We're fucking hanging our balls everywhere, putting them in everyone's face, just dropping home runs and bat flips. But the big dick relievers we would have come in, Chapman. I mean, as much as I hate David Bednar, he's still a local guy, and he was better than what we've got in the bullpen right now. Fuck, I would trust Bednar over anybody to get me 3 outs at this moment in our bullpen. So, yeah, we cut off the big swinging dick so that we could drop our balls on some home runs.
I want to publicly apologize to David Bednar for insulting you and for calling you names, for fucking up shitty Pirate games, wins that we should have had. I miss you, and I wish you were still here. And I hope you forgive me and maybe come back. I'll just, I'll table that. I'm sorry, David Bednar. We didn't realize how good we had it when we had you. The only thing you would do is sometimes blow a save on a team that already had 74 losses in the month of August. So apologies.
And I
Now,
just want to, while we're talking to Yinzer relievers, I just want to say, Mason Miller, I know you went to LaRoche for a bit. That's a lie. You went to Waynesburg for a bit. And you're a Pittsburgh guy. You went to Bethel Park. And I just want you to know that we love you here. And I know that a hometown discount isn't something that would be financially beneficial to you, but spiritually, just getting by those rivers would probably make you feel like a little boy playing back at Bethel Park again. And I just want you to remember what it was like back in those days and how much of the fucking man you were. Just you remember that when you're thinking about free agency.
yeah, by all means, come by because we'll take anything. We'll even take his mom or dad to pitch for us because it's god awful. Now, in your answer, you're saying how, the bullpen just couldn't figure it out. You didn't mention that it's just because we can't hit. So if I were to tell you that the Pirates turned it around and we're 35-35 on June 15th, and if I told you the Pirates finished their season 92-70, what happened? What changed? What is the narrative as to why they had the season that they had, being at 500, 72 games into the season?
Whew. In this world, I'm imagining that some sort of voodoo magic was real and that you or I, one, found access to it. And instead of using it to make ourselves rich men, we decided to bless the city of Pittsburgh with beautiful baseball. No, but seriously, I would assume that we had our just held our heads above water until the All-Star break, and then someone decided to get their head out of their ass and get actual major league relievers on this team. It is truly the narrative of this team is the bullpen. I don't think there's any question. Last year, the narrative was that the pitching was awesome and we were losing games 2-0 because we couldn't score runs. And now it's like, hey, 7 runs might not be enough. Do you know what Paul Skeens would have done for the run support he's already had this year last year? I mean, it circles back to our first point, and we can circle forever. That's the unskeens like thing. If Paul Skeens gets 2 runs, I need Paul Skeens leaving the game with a lead. Like, I'm sorry, but if you got 2 runs of support for the last 2 years of your career, you would have had infinite more wins than you had, man. I need you walking out of there with less than 1 run under your belt. It's just what needs to happen. And it's
So, oh, sorry, go ahead.
especially with especially with this bullpen. It's we can chirp on. The bullpen is horrible, so our starters that are supposed to be the bread and butter of this team have to have long outings because they don't have the support behind them.
So, looking at, the situation where the Pirates go 92-70, being 500, I want to take you back. So I read our relievers ERA as of today. And in 2014, the Pirates made the playoffs with 88 wins. So I'm talking 3 games better. I'm sorry, 4 games better than that. I want you to hear these ERAs. I'm not even going to say the players because we might think, oh shit, he was so badass. Okay. So I want to try to get the bias out of it. We had a reliever pitch 72 games and he had an ERA of 1.9. kick ass. Okay. You had another one who had 78 games in for an ERA of 1.63. These are all relievers. Another one, 63 games, ERA 1.96. And you had another one who, holy shit, I remember this guy, 44 games, ERA of 3.19. Another one, 70 games, ERA 4.20. So you had three guys with pretty good stuff. The thing is one of those guys is an all-star. Okay. So relievers having a generally better ERA than your starter is going to be common, right? You'll see a lot of relievers with an under three, under two ERA, right? So out of all those ERAs I mentioned, one all-star. Okay. You don't need a whole bunch of you don't need five all-stars in there on your roster to have a decent bullpen. We had one, and it was Tony Watson. Tony Watson had 78 games, an ERA of 1.63. Mark Melanson was the 1.9 ERA, Jared Hughes a 1.96, Jenmar Gomez 3.9, and Justin Wilson 4.2. Fixing this issue, so this narrative of change, we go 92 and 70, I would think that you cut ties with two shitty relievers in the month of June, and you brought two guys up. You took a flyer on them because hell, anything can be better, and we think this is a do or die season due to the collective bargaining agreement coming up. We don't know if we're going to play. We don't know who we're going to lose the year after that, right? So we get rid of two. We bring two guys up, and those guys are just better than before, right? Rather than a 4.5 ERA, they're sitting at a 3.1. And then I think that you took yourself and you got two half decent prospects and you traded for 1 to 2 relievers. Maybe in a Aroldis Chapman this year, insert middle of the pack seller team as well. I'm not telling you to split the atom, Yinzer. I'm not telling you to cure cancer. This is something that can be resolved. It's just a matter of upper management and how they want to apply it. And it really does feel like we're not going to see any of this because it's going to be too late. There's a possibility we're sellers at the deadline and you're going to see guys go. So it doesn't take for like now last year, if you were to say, okay, this time of the year the Pirates changed around, what happened? You would say the Pirates got 7 new bats in our lineup this year. That's what happened. The starting lineup in September 1st was 7 people different than on June 15th. That's splitting the atom. We're not doing that. We're not succeeding that way. We have some items here. The general manager is the guy that's supposed to figure that out. And he's not. He's saying Majinski should piggyback off of Jones because we have an innings limit on him. And Bubba Chandler is also only going to throw 150 innings as well because we don't want to hurt his arm either. Well, what happens when Chandler's innings go? What happens when Skeens gets to his intended limit? Because, we want to make sure we're preserving these arms. You're going to implode. This is do or die for Ben Cherington. And I think it's time for him and Don Kelly to go if they don't figure it out. That was a long way of going about it, but just kind of giving the full 10,000-foot view on this situation because it's not a lot that needs the fix. You have a lot good going on for it. We're 500 on June 15th. I would have strangled a puppy for that last year, man. But it's just it's hard to see us go down like this.
Well, and I mean, you're making all good points. It's really not splitting the atom. It's a few relievers. When you look at these good, like actual really good baseball teams, I'm going to use the Braves as an example just because we just played them and we saw their bullpen of guys coming in all with 1 and below ERAs. We don't need that. But when you see that, it's, hey, if they're winning, you're going to see these 3 guys. If they're losing, you're going to see this guy. And then if they get the lead back, maybe you see a couple of their better guys. We don't have anybody where it's like, hey, we're winning and it's this guy. It's Soto in the 9th, and that is the only person that we have that way. But like you're saying, it's not splitting the atom. It's, hey, a couple relievers. It would be nice to have 2 guys that's like, hey, we have a setup man, Colin Holderman from a couple years ago, Aroldis Chapman from a couple years ago, where they're coming in, they're going to get you through 3 to 6 outs, and then you're going to put your closer in. In this case, Soto. I don't know if that's a long-term closer. That's a different conversation to be had. But whoever it is, I need to get to the closer with the lead, and that's just something we haven't been doing. But we're talking about guys like Tyler Callahan. We talked about dudes earlier in the season, Esmeralda Valdez. We've got Henry Davis, who isn't going to get you anything crazy, but is someone that we want to get rid of. Obviously, the Pirates don't feel the same way as us there. That's a fever dream. But we're talking about the young bats. The passwords come up. There's guys in our farm system that either have some hype around them, the password, or actually have like come up and produced a little bit. Valdez, Callahan. Would it kill us to shot? I like as fun as those guys have been. We know KG. If he's not coming back this year, we still know that's your long-term shortstop. You've got bats for the first time that hey, maybe some of these are disposable assets. Teams are going to be looking for bats, and you're here looking for relievers. We don't need god level relievers. We just need MLB quality relievers. So if Callahan can go out there and smack around a couple little, hey, he's hitting these little gapper shot singles, and then he's a home run and another couple home runs, stuff like that. Guys that are getting hot. Hey, let's see here in Colorado and in Oakland, or not Oakland anymore, Sacramento. If these guys can get hot at these hitters parks, and if they do, like, let's fucking get on the phones and get some of these guys that are at the highest level of potential and highest value they're going to be at any time in the near future and turn them into relievers. Not a fucking GM. That's your job, Sherrington, but I'm sure there's someone who would like a little utility man bat who's been getting hot here. And hey, maybe they have a reliever that's not really touching the ball for them, but would touch the ball a fuck ton for us.
It's You're right. You're right because you do have some of these guys that can make an impact on a team, and the thing is we can't even worry about the longevity of the farm system right now because of what's happening at the end of the season with the CBA. So it's really do or die. Now we had mentioned, we're both kind of agreeing that maybe changing up two guys in the bullpen, in the current system, and adding on two more. Okay, great. Half that problem's already solved for you. You have Carmen Majinski, who should be in the bullpen. That's one. Okay. Figure out some other shit. And if you need to make room, cut Brandon Bedoya, and you have Carmen Majinski now in your bullpen. Marcelo Zuna sucks ass. However, there is potential in Marcelo Zuna. He has a name, and he has $12 million on his asshole right now. That will get you a reliever with an under 3.5 ERA, 3.4, 3.3, right? So you get rid of him. Henry Davis, teams need depth at the catcher position. Even though he sucks, right? He is still a catcher, which is not the demand for catchers is high because of how bad it is. Oh, that's why Henry Davis even has a spot, is because all catchers kind of suck. We see Cal Raleigh have a great season, and it's, oh my God, he's the first catcher to do everything. It's because catchers low-key fucking suck, right? So if you can shop Davis, you shop Ozuna, and you put Majinski in the bullpen, and you trade Ozuna and Henry for arms, dude, like this team with say just an average bullpen. I'm talking middle of the pack, fifth ranked 15th in the league in ERA and hits and everything. Dude, we're winning 95 plus games. You're going to give the fucking Brewers a run for their money because genuinely, this team has stepped up when some guys can't step up, other guys are. It's the next man up mentality in this lineup. They're hitting the ball, they're scoring runs, and they're winning games with this shitty bullpen. Our ceiling, I'm going to say it on air at 6:55 p.m. on June 15th p.m. If the Pirates figured out the bullpen, they could win the World Series because I can't see them just going down easy enough to just get walked over in a 3-game set or a 5-game set or a 7-game set. And you're right. I mean, yeah, I love the password and guys like that, but those are people you got to consider shopping. And if you don't make any moves at the deadline, that really shows me that you're content with just being the same shitty Pirates 7 years into a rebuild. 7 years in, man, that should be like, okay, like Pirates are looking to win the division, you know? You're clearly not doing anything right if you can't do it by now. So there's options, there's options, there's options. It's just a matter of doing something about it. And quite frankly, I don't give two shits if people aren't wanting to trade yet. Figure it out. Give them an offer they can't refuse. Do it for the fans. I mean, come on. We've been sitting around here for 11 years waiting for a repeat of a sporadic 3-year run we had in 13 through 15. It's going to be a damn shame if we can't figure it out. But I like the idea of shopping some of these younger, guys that are still technically prospects for something that can help you now. I mean, I'll throw up franchise mode on MLB The Show and I'll do it for them. Give them a PowerPoint of it. Good points there, Yinzer. I like the idea of moving guys around because you don't need a lot. You don't need another Paul Skeens. Looking for just guys to replace Benoit and Dotel and Montgomery, Sisk. It's just you need it. So stuff.
Yeah, it's these things where, and if they want to keep, we bring up Henry over and over again because we would both, for our own reasons, not want to see Henry play here anymore. And I think most of the city of Pittsburgh would agree with us. But you have 4 catchers right now. Like, truly, Bart has gout, but he'll be back at some point. So you have Bart, who is, I'm assuming, shoppable. If you're like dead set on Henry, you don't need Bart and Henry. That's a little redundant. And then you have Endy, who has been getting on base and being just an all around much better offensive presence than either Bart or Henry were early this season. And then you've got Flores, who's a prospect, who, listen, if you're dead set on Henry Davis working, then you don't need Flores. If you're dead set that Flores is going to work, you don't need Henry Davis or you don't need Endy Rodriguez. All I know is right now you have way more catchers than you need. And like you were just saying, catcher is one of those positions where there's a market. And like relievers, the position where there's a market to get out of them. Some teams have an abundance of relievers, even if they're in their minor leagues. If they're someone who wants to be a future starter in a minor league system for someone else, but who can come in and has done some relief work. Like, you can't tell me those guys aren't out there. Get off your ass and look for them. You've got some fucking value on this team. There's bats that you just aren't used to having. Like, your farm system is actually damn good for the first time in a while. So how about we do something with the farm system instead of just waiting for those guys to be Pirates so that we can trade them to the fucking Yankees anyway?
I think you're just describing the struggles of being a Cleveland Browns fan because that's exactly what we're doing. You're right with the 4 catchers. Flores, going yard last week. We have Endy, who should just be the everyday catcher, no matter who's pitching. Sorry, Paul Skeens, but you want a Cy Young. You didn't cure cancer. You don't need a personal catcher, especially if his name is Henry fucking Davis.
Also,
So
not sorry, Paul Skeens. Like, you're not pitching well enough this season to justify a bat that is horrible being in the lineup because you want him there. Pitch better and you can have your Henry, but like, Henry is -1 runs, so you need to allow less runs if you're going to put him out there.
yeah, and we've lost the past 6 games where Skeens has pitched, and Henry's played in all of those games. So maybe that's me stretching for some sort of weird statistical coincidence, but because I hate Henry Davis, but Bart is in AAA right now. He hit a home run the other day. He's going to be coming back, and you're right. That's a position I feel confident at if it was just Endy and Flores, right? Because
Or
Bart
Indian
has
Bart or
potential.
Bart and Flores. You know what I don't feel confident in? Any sort of combination where Henry Davis is one of the 2 catchers actively rostered.
And Henry Davis, too, is young enough to develop somewhere else. It's not like he's a 38-year-old that, we oversigned fucking Marcelo Ozuna, which Ozuna's harder to shop because of his age and his current stats, but, he's selling kind of his name. Someone would take him. But anyway, look at a guy like Austin Hedges. He sucked ass for us, and then he won a fucking World Series with the Rangers. There's development. You're young enough too at the position that guys that suck ass for us, or we don't feel like keeping around, they could go somewhere else and make an impact. Right? There is someone would take Henry Davis. They might DFA him in 2 months, but he's young enough that he can, you can take a flyer on that guy if you really need the help. Now, I don't know what the current market is right now for catcher. I don't know how many teams are looking to take on a guy like Henry Davis. And, I don't think everyone's jumping on the fact of getting him, considering he's the worst hitter ever right now. But they're choosing to, if you do nothing, there's no reason to ever think that we're going to be anything, because 2013, 14, and 15, they were kind of accidents. We kind of tried a thing where we got like two guys past their prime and took a flyer on two guys before their prime, and we had our homegrown outfield, and then bang, you got 98 wins in 2013. That's just how shit goes. So lot of so many options. I mean, having that job's got to be so much fun. But instead, you're sitting back and you're saying, well, Carmen Majinski's going to be in the bullpen, but he's not. He's just going to piggyback off of Jones because we're scared to throw him any longer than he should. It's what can
Then
we be
trade him.
excited
Trade
about? Yeah, then
him or
trade him.
trade Mitch. Like, you have two pitchers that either Carmen or Mitch, I'm being honest, they don't need to both be Pirates. One of them can start, the other one needs to be on a different organization. Whether that is for third base that has a bat that can fucking hit the ball out of the park, because I love Nick Gonzalez. Defensively, been a menace lately, not in a good way. And fucking offensively, great dude. You're a run producer. You're putting the ball in play, and I appreciate the fuck out of it. Every once in a while, I'm going to need to see my quarter infielders like Horwitz, like O'Hearn, fuck like Callahan when he's in there at third base from day to day. I'm going to need to see you go yard if you're playing corner infield for me, because I need runs produced. I don't need you on base so that Jared Triolo can chop you into a double play. That's not what I need out of you. Or
Yeah.
a
Oh, sorry,
reliever.
go ahead.
A reliever. No,
Yeah.
it just clicked to me as a reliever would, again, we'll talk about it a million times, but you've got 6 starters, trade one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna elect to opt out. I'm gonna plead the fifth on getting into Mitch Keller this episode because he's pissing me off. We'll just keep that to our text thread of just getting mad at him. But um, obviously, we could go in circles over and over again on what we need to do, and quite frankly, we're probably going to be bitching about the same stuff later this week or next week. But if we try to get excited about something, let's try to really, cook something up here, is that we are playing the Athletics and the Rockies. A 3-game set Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. These are both road series. You can win 6 in a row here. You could really turn things around. This is the best time to flip the script for the month of June, because the rest of the, I mean, if I'm looking at up till the end of July, just seeing. So you have Athletics, Colorado, then you got Seattle, Cincinnati's on the downfall. Then you got Philadelphia, Washington, Atlanta, Milwaukee, Cleveland, the Yankees, the Cubs, and then you get into the Cardinals and back to Cincinnati. That gets you to the end of July. So this is the best time to pick yourself up. If you can win 5 out of 6, hell, back-to-back sweeps. Because then if you get hot, everything kind of changes, right? I mean, this doesn't have to be a spreadsheet 24/7, Yinzer. If you can go into Sacramento and sweep them, then go into Colorado on a hot hand and say, hey, it was a short flight from Colorado to Denver. We're ready, rested up Thursday. We come back Friday, bang, 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 get another one. You're the hottest team in baseball, and you know it, and that just boosts morale. Then Skeens goes, yeah, man, fuck, I'm pitching in October this year. And Keller goes, you know what, I figured it out my last start, and I can keep it going. And then the bullpen goes, hey guys, we don't have a fucking loss on our hands in over a week. Let's keep it going. That's how you start a run. It's like basketball. It's a game of runs, man. This is the perfect time to turn it around. I'm not saying that we're going up against D3 schools in the next 6 games, but I'm also saying that it's a hell of a lot better than going against Atlanta and then the Dodgers. So you got Jared Jones tonight. Jared, prove yourself. Prove yourself. Say, hey, I was a hot prospect before I got hurt, and I'm proving it again tonight. Carmen, you're going to pitch for the first time in a fucking year because you're the piggyback guy. Show them what you're made of. Let's get a shutout. 5 from Jones, 4 from Majinski, and let's put up a fucking 10 burger and let's get it going. I'm trying to shift it. I'm trying to speak it into existence right now, Yinzer, because I don't know what else can help it because there's nothing improving about us. But it starts with today. We can't win 6 in a row tonight. Can't do it tomorrow. But I tell you what, we can do. We can win tonight, and we can win tomorrow. Let's do it tonight. Let's get it. Lineup has been released. We got Horwitz at first, Lau at second. This is in order. B Ray at the DH, O'Hearn in right field, Gonzalez at the shortstop, ND at catching, Callahan at third, Magnum at center field, and Ezrin Valdez in left field. No Triolo and no Davis. Why not win? Your 2 weakest links are gone for the day. Let's pretend like they're not home and get the win.
Hey, yeah, I was sitting there and waiting. I still love you calling Jake Mangum Jake Magnum every time. Love that. I'm never going to stop loving that. I did love as soon as I heard Gonzalez at shortstop. I was like, okay, let me hear third. Callahan. Okay, beautiful stuff. These are the kind of things that we love to hear. Indy at catcher. I like hearing Esmerlin back out there. Your DH and B Ray, who we didn't even mention him at all, but I guess we'll give him a little hat tilt here. He did go out and fucking rob 3 home runs in 1 home series. So shout out B Ray for some stellar defense out there.
Absolute vacuum.
Yeah, that was incredible to see. It was just nice to see Brian Reynolds. There was a lot of talk about, oh, Brian Reynolds isn't a quality fielder. Hey, he can still go out there and take home runs away from you. And he knows PNC Park. He knows that left field better than most. So I still love seeing him out there. And hey, I love seeing him DH tonight, letting the young guys get out there and run around a little bit. Esmeralin had a crazy throw earlier in the season when he was up the first time. And I like seeing Esmeralin up here. Like if he continues to play decent baseball, you don't have an excuse for Ozuna at that point. You're looking at 2 guys who are similar archetypes, big dudes, hit lefties well. I would much rather see Valdez in the future because, like I said, hey, worst case scenario, he's a trade piece. Best case scenario, you've got a nice little fielder out there, and you can let O'Hearn and Reynolds get some DH days under their legs.
And I think one thing to add too is, we're excited Ozuna's not in the lineup. That'd be 4 games in a row with no Ozuna. Making $12 million a year. I actually just did the math. If you make $12 million a season, we only get paid. You only get paid during the regular season. That comes out to $74,070. $74,074 per game. That's 4 in a row. You got to do something with this guy. I'm hoping that means that he's not even traveling with the team and he's getting traded within the next couple of days because you can't have a guy just sitting on your bench making that kind of money. I know he sucks. We'd rather not have him here. So then let's dish him. Any chance that there is something more going on other than the fact that Ozuna can't hit? Yinzer, are we thinking that something could be up or on the move? We know he's not hurt. Um, Thoughts?
Yeah, I am interested to see what happens here with Marcel. It seems like they don't really have a true plan for that. Like they seem stubborn. I'm happy that he's finally out of lineups for multiple days in a row because they were stubborn early to force Ozuna in and prove that $12 million investment was worth something. Oh, he's got a hot streak at him. He just doesn't. He can't see the strike zone right now. I mean, you see it with ABS challenges. He wastes one. It feels like every game that he plays, he can't find the zone. He can't hit for power right now. He's too slow. I mean, he's putting balls past infielders and then getting thrown out at first. He's just not good. Like, it's not that he's no, he's just not good. There's really no even sugarcoating it. He's been atrocious at baseball this season. So I hope so, man. Like I was saying, the Braves have an abundance of relievers over there, and he was getting a standing ovation, maybe a little reunion brewing because he looked happy as fuck to be in Atlanta, and I would love for him to just be anywhere but Pittsburgh for the dog days of summer because anytime he's in the lineup is just a black hole. And like we said, it's we have too many of those guys, and we've got a lot of them on the bench tonight, which is great. But I don't even want them on the bench. I don't want to see them. Like, I don't need them to be on my team, or at the very least on my major league roster. Like, if they need to go to not Marcel, obviously, again, he can go anywhere. I don't care. He's even if he's traded for cash considerations, like nothing can line his pockets a little bit. I don't. I just need Marcel to not be an option.
And John Wayner said this morning on the Fan that it's because of the righty lefty matchup. Are we really that he's only going to hit against lefties? And okay, so we got four righties in a row. Are we really going to subject a guy making $12 million a year that he can only DH against lefties? Because that's what a league minimum guy does. I was really excited when we signed Connor Griffin because we weren't going to see that kind of shit. Because I hate righty lefty matchups bullshit. There was so much shit on Cruz this year, and he's been hitting lefties incredibly well. So when you got a guy like Griffin on a long term deal, like, all right, doesn't matter lefty or righty, he's going to be in the lineup, right? That's awesome. But are we going to pay a guy $12 million a year to only DH and only hit against lefties? Now you're talking, you're not even being a good steward of your money. Like, are are we the Cleveland Browns? The title of this episode should be episode 3, are we the Cleveland Browns? Because it's I feel like that's what it's like to be a fan of them, right? It's like, what are we doing? You had all these years of Myles Garrett, we didn't do anything with it. We had Baker, we got mad at him. Like, it's something needs to be figured out there. But yeah, I would love to see him just be anywhere but Pittsburgh. I also think it's funny, multiple times on the road this year, Ozuna gets DUI chants from the opposing crowd, and I think that's fucking hilarious. That's just awesome.
If I Does he not
Yeah,
also have a domestic? Is that not?
yeah, he does, but I think people are smart enough not to joke about it, right? Because like that is fucked up. But the DUI thing
No,
is
I
just kind
mean
of funny
he's
because he's stupid. You hit a
just in
woman, you're
general
just an
bad
asshole.
guy. We said it about Morgan Wallen last episode, and we'll say it about Marcel. Just in general, bad guy. I made a joke when there was a Georgia State trooper in the Braves dugout for our Brave series. I just went, "Oh, Marcel's seeing an old friend in the dugout there." It's not that far off. He was chummy with the cops in the dugout, and it's like, "Oh, buddy, you have been in their station." Like, fuck, man, you are a
He's like,
bad
it's
guy,
very
and
nice.
you're bad at baseball.
Yeah, he's a guy that needs to go for sure. Overpaid, and you're right, bad guy. But people are saying that also that it might be a locker room thing as to why he's still here, and apparently everyone loves him. It's the same with Henry Davis. I'm tired of the excuses, man. This is a business. This is, we are trying to provide returns on the field, man. We can't. So I'm so tired of this bullpen game shit. I'm tired of the righty lefty. Oh, he doesn't hit against right. Well, he's actually really bad at hitting, but Paul Skeens just really likes Henry Davis when he throws the ball. Enough, man. This is the major leagues, Yinzer. This is not a fucking little league team, dude. We're not getting snacks after the game. We're playing in the fucking big leagues. So it's hard to it's just hard, man. I'm struggling. I'm struggling. If we could turn it around, that'd be great. But I think these next 6 games are the most crucial games of the season because it's going to make or break going into the dog days of summer. I hope that they can do something here.
Yeah, we'll just wrap it up here. Last Pittsburgh topic. Just before we go, I wanted to bring this to the table for something to do next week. Maybe next week, since we like to bring up the fan a lot, and it's a giant subject of our conversations over text. We just draft our perfect little fan show. grab our guys and see who can walk out of there with a better combination from 93.7 the fan personalities. Just give it that Pittsburgh touch, because I know plenty of our friends are also tuning in, and we have plenty of people who feel very similar, I would say, to you and I. If I had to guess, there's going to be some arguments about whenever one of us gets to go first, who's grabbing certain guys, because there's some animosity, to say the least, for a couple guys over at old 93.7.
I think that sounds like a plan. I think you should draft up some weird like rule too. Like we go to like a snake draft, or you have to pick like a producer first or the personality first. Let's run it. All you. Let's bring it to the table, and I'll be ready for the draft because
All right.
that would be fun.
So there's something to look forward to next week. Come back and watch us draft. Just what we would like is a perfect show. If we wanted to tune into 93.7, if they had a 24/7 show, what it would be for us. So that'll just be end of Pittsburgh stuff. Wrapping up, we did crown 2 champions in sports this week. We got both the Knicks, your Knicks, in 5 games over San Antonio. And it just looked like the Spurs were not ready for that kind of spotlight. They got there and they pissed down their leg over and over again with late leads blown. They were up 10 in the fourth quarter of every game this series, I'm pretty sure was the stat, and found a way to lose 4 of the 5 games.
Yeah, it felt like Groundhog's Day because it just felt like, okay, well, the Spurs are up, but it's like a big game for the Knicks, so they're going to come back and win this game. The Spurs just didn't play 48 minutes at all, except for whatever game they won. I think it was game 3 that they won. Yeah, because the road team won the first 3 games. Great for the Knicks. Sad to see Wemby come up short like that, but hell of a series. I think it's great for the sport seeing an organization like the Knicks kind of, be this franchise great and then win it for the first time in 53 years. That's fun. I mean, that team battled. I mean, there was going into, whenever the Knicks had beaten the Cavs and the Western Conference Final was still going on, the whole talk was, doesn't matter who wins the West, you're winning the chip this year. And the Knicks just kind of gave that middle finger and said, fuck you. We're good. Who gives a shit? And they dominated it. I mean, you're right. I think the Spurs kind of pissed on themselves a little bit and couldn't play 48 minutes of basketball, but that was an exciting series. And you don't see that a ton for a gentleman's sweep like that, right? I mean, usually when we say great series, it's, we went 7 games and game 6 was a barn burner and 7 went to overtime, but overall, great series.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. I would think when we were getting to the end of our high school, beginning of college days, everyone was talking about, well, there's no parity in the NBA. It's Cavs, Warriors. They put a graphic up over the weekend after the Knicks won, and I just wanted to read it off here. It's the last 8 NBA champions were the Raptors, Lakers, Bucks, Warriors, Nuggets, Celtics, Thunder, and Knicks. So the league with no parity has kind of become the parity league. And it's good to see that. I mean, it's just been fun to watch. Like, you don't know what's going to happen year to year. Oh, it's going to be the Celtics league is what we heard. There was odds for them to three-peat on tons of gambling sites. Then there was odds for the Thunder to three-peat on tons of gambling sites. And now we're just looking at no one's three-peating. Like, every year it's a fucking battle. And it's been really cool to see the NBA kind of have this, hey, anybody can win. It makes it fun for really everyone coming into the season.
Cough, cough. They have a salary cap and a salary floor. Cough, cough.
Yeah, no, that's just that's something that at some
Gee,
point we will
Yinzer, I
have
wonder
those
why
arguments.
Yinzer, I wonder why multiple teams win it and there's not a ton of repeat champions and the odds makers can't really predict on who's going to win. It's crazy. I wonder why. Sorry for cutting you off.
No, that's completely fair point there, but it's just been fun to see. Like, we grew up in the dynasty era of the NBA, and now we've just seen really the parity era of the NBA. So that's been fun. We also had the Hurricanes win their first Stanley Cup in a long time and their second overall as a franchise. Just Vegas, it was the Brandon Bussey, the goalkeeper for Carolina, that went in and was like an undrafted guy, rookie, not technically a rookie because of age limits, but it's his first season playing professional hockey, and series kind of flipped. I mean, Carolina just kind of stepped on Vegas's throat to the end of that series. So what looked like it might go 7 ends at 6. Carolina looked fantastic, and congrats to the Hurricanes.
Yeah, it seems like the Carolina Hurricanes. I mean, this is their second cup in franchise history, and from what I understand, in the past like 6 years, maybe they should have had two because they've had some competitive teams. It's nice to see, maybe not necessarily for hockey, but just kind of a smaller market, smaller dynamic of a city, Raleigh, North Carolina, getting a championship. I mean, that's because if you're getting anything, that's you're getting the Panthers ain't going to do it, but yeah, it was nice to see, organization like the Hurricanes kind of step on a what has been a juggernaut since the start of their existence in the Vegas Golden Knights. And shout out Jordan Stahl, ageless wonder, getting the Conn Smythe and his second cup. It seems like forever ago he won it in '09 with the Penguins, but yeah, it was a nice storyline. Unfortunately, not nice enough for me to really care in the moment. I just got that notification. I just was listening to the fan and found out that they finished over the weekend. So great for the Canes. It's
Yeah, no,
officially
something.
baseball season and or training camp season, depending on how these next 6 games goes for the Pirates.
Also, going to something I actually did watch over the weekend. The only thing that'll get me to watch soccer, I did watch the USA just shove Paraguay in a locker. That was beautiful, 4-1. That's not what USA soccer has looked like for us growing up. It's been sloppy and one goal wins or draws for most of our careers of watching sports. And then I actually heard a stat today that it was last World Cup they scored 3 goals, and last game they scored 4. So this is a different U.S. team, and it was fun. I was very patriotic.
They are turning around because in the past 4 or 5 cups, the United States hasn't even been in it every single time, and it's nice getting the automatic qualifier with hosting it. But yeah, that was a great, very very patriotic day for sure. Let's keep it running. America's turning 250 this year. We're hosting. If there's some sort of script, let's do it. That'd be badass because I'm the biggest soccer fan when it comes to the World Cup in the United States. Soccer is so easy to understand too. You can watch someone can watch that game for 3 minutes and just know everything there is to know about it and just enjoy it. So when people are like, there's not enough goals, just sit down and enjoy it, man. It's not basketball. Calm down. But yeah, great win. That was fun. I'd love to say. I didn't realize how long the World Cup is. It's a month and a half. I thought when I saw the United States play, when we were playing, I'm like, oh, what are we playing on Sunday now? Like, what's going on? They're like, no, next week actually. It's like, oh, okay. We're just gonna play like
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
a
these
blue moon.
dudes, that's when you're sprinting around for 90 minutes. I mean, you look at these soccer players, they're all just cut as fuck. They're sprinting for 95 minutes, and then so, yeah, you're not just doing that multiple times a week. It's closer to football just from an output perspective than it is to basketball or hockey, anything like that.
Well, all the power to them because there's even a rule on how many times you can sub. So all those guys aren't just Iron Manning it, just running the us guys. That seems like the moon to be able to just run around and play a 95-minute game, with extra time. So props to them. Go USA. Keep it running.
And have you heard the story how Flo Balogun, who's the guy that had 2 of the goals, how he actually ended up being like eligible for the U.S. national team?
No, I do not. Enlighten me.
So his parents both lived in England. They were pregnant with him, and they were in the USA on like a vacation. And his mom was too pregnant to fly back to England from New York, so he was born here. He technically, like, he got offered to be on the English national team, and I want to say the Nigerian or one of the African countries' national teams, and then chose to be on the American national team. And it's purely the only reason he's allowed to be is because he just happened to be born here because his mom was too pregnant to fly.
I freaking love that. That's awesome, and it's nice to see. I think it's cool whenever you have like a backstory like that. I also like that the World Cup, you can't just like pick some place that you think is cool, like the World Baseball Classic to play on, and there is like okay, like this is what you're eligible for, go for it. But yeah, that's exciting, and it comes once every 4 years, and especially when we have some success, or at least when we're in it. Let's keep it rolling, and I'm sure we'll turn into a soccer podcast because it's called soccer. It's if we get into the quarterfinals, semifinals, championship, I'm sure we'll be like, fuck the Pirates. So
Yeah, no, if if the US makes it like wins a knockout stage game, I might not mention a Pirates player for an entire episode. So just keep that in mind. Depending on if the Pirates don't look good over the next 6 games and USA Soccer, I think we play Australia next. Yeah, we beat Australia. It's on.
let's get it. Let's get it.
All right. Well, I don't think we have much else to say. Like I said, look forward to that draft for the 93.7 the fan personalities next week, and if we wanted to maybe throw a pick out just because we've become a gambling show, you're 1-0, I'm 1-1 now.
Yeah, let me give me a Jake Magnum home run today in Sutter Health Park.
Okay, and when you guys listen to this tomorrow, if Jake Mangum has hit a home run, then just know that this was called 7:26 p.m. on Monday, June 15th by Iron Mike before the game was played. So I do need that to be known. I'll just fuck it. Let me. We got. Dude, all of the. I don't even. We just need a win. I'm just going straight win. This
All right,
needs. We're
Pirates money line.
underdogs. Pirates are underdogs on CN Athletics minus 122. Pirates plus 101. This is the kind of team that if you're going to be a serious contender, you don't fuck around with. Like we beat the Athletics, so let's get right. Let's beat the Athletics. That's plus 101. We're looking at Mangum home run, which I can't even imagine what that is. You know what? Filibuster for a second. I need to know.
Yeah, so filibuster here, Jake Magnum, 13 stolen bases on the year so far, which looks super high, especially because he's not an everyday player. So if you wanted, I'm not a parlay guy, but if you wanted to add in a stolen base, if he gets on in a situation where a runner moves it over, and with Valdez batting ninth today, I think you could see Magnum on the move to maybe swipe a bag. Another thing I would say is O'Hearn batting fourth. He's got a lefty righty matchup. Maybe him to get a base hit. I think he's been hitting the ball well. Do you need more filibuster?
No, I've got you. If you bet Jake Mangum one home run, $10 will win you 168. That's plus 1580 on the DraftKings Sportsbook. And that's the one I'm giving you purely because it's the one that I'm still logged into on my phone. So I'm just not going to go search other ones. If you find a better line, that's beautiful for you. Again, we're willing to take money from everyone. So call she if you find it on there and you want to bet it there. Fuck it, FanDuel, all of you guys. You know the ones, Polymarket, all of them. However you want to gamble. If you can't gamble legally, you can kind of gamble legally on prediction markets now, I guess. I don't really know how all this shit works. Fucking, if you got to call your bookie and then like just blame it on your translator and get him sent out of the country, that's always something you could do.
Absolutely.
In general, just make sure that you're out here watching the Pirates. If you fucking bet on Mangum, you're gonna win a shitload of money because Iron Mike knows best.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should if we had like a big following, I would say for everyone who proves that they stayed up to the end of every game this series gets something. But I tell you what, we'll give you a shout out. So if whoever stays up to the end of the game tonight, at least tonight, posts about proves that they stayed up the whole game, we will shout you out on the next pod. And of course, you'll get another. You've made money too, so you should be happy. That's your gift. You got to pick. You made money. You're making $160 on Magnum to get a home run today. So yeah, prove us that you stayed up to the end, and you get a shout out. Let's run it. Yinzer, are you there?
Oh, I'm just out here muting myself. That we're doing bad stuff. I'll take this one step further, though. Every game's the first pitch of 9:40 for this A's series. So since this will probably come out tomorrow, just if you can prove you were watching at the final pitch of a ninth inning for any of these A's games, tweet at us, tag the pod, fucking DM me. If you know me in real life, text me a picture of your screen. But again, tweeting and tagging the pod, giving me that beautiful engagement would feel way nicer. So if you stay up and watch, we'll give you a shout out because, yeah, you'll get 25 people to know your name a little bit better. Fuck yeah.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Well, thank you guys for being here, listening to us rant. Sorry if we're a broken record. It's hard. It's hard being us. It's hard being a Pirates fan at times, and we're going to have a lot to discuss our next pod as things kind of progress. And but smash the like, smash the follow, go follow us on Twitter. It's always Twitter in my eyes. Fuck you, Elon. Actually, sorry, Illuminati. That don't cut that out. Cut that. I don't want to get hurt. But
No,
give us a like and a
I'm
follow.
leaving that in there. That's your fuck. Hey, he's getting cooked. Give us a like, give us a follow, leave a comment on the video of something you want to see us do, whether, like we said, we're going to be doing a draft next week. So stuff like that. If you want to hear us talk about anything, if you want to come on and argue with us, fucking, you can get invited to the Discord and hear our nice robot Craig tell you that it's time to record. So either way, just give us something to work with here, guys. If you want us to do anything, we are malleable people. We want to talk about stuff that people want to listen to. So comment, tweet at us, whatever. But thank you for the support. Thank you for listening. And as always, thank you for talking the blank with us, and have a great week, Yenzers.
And before PGH Iron Mike leaves you, I want to say that the first 100 we get, whether it's 100 subscribers, 100 followers, or 100 likes on a video or tweet, I will go to my local batting cage and I will blur out my face and I will take a shot to the arm from the fastest setting at my local batting cage, which I believe is 70 plus miles per hour. I will take a shot to the arm, bare skin. First 100 we get. You want to clip it? You want to, whatever you want to do with that, Yinzer, I'm in. Whatever gets us going. So, but like he said, thanks for watching.
Yeah, that's fucking big words there from Iron Mike. So you guys have had the challenge laid down. Get us 100 on something, followers, retweets, likes, whatever it is, and get Iron Mike drilled by a fastball in a batting cage. That is something that I might just have to make 100 bot accounts to see myself. Have a great night, guys.
Take care.
Yo ho, talk the planks, the show. Ho ho, where you can come and hear about everything Buccos. Yo ho ho, come talk the plank with Bro. I earn my Gillian's as anger begins to grow.